Returning now to your scholarly work, tell me a little bit about the your book, Practicing Feminisms, and how that came to be.
So let's see, how did that come to be? It came to be because someone at Michigan Press said, would you write a book in part of a series? And the series fell apart, but I started writing the book. They wanted to have a series of feminist kind of surveys of the disciplines across the disciplines, and it didn't quite pan out that way. But I had started this book, so I just finished it and published it with them. I had sensed, among just going to the APA and reading some of the literature, sensed two kinds of cleavages going on. One is that some of the feminists trying to push new methods were getting shut off by other feminists who were were abiding more by empiricist doctrine and rule following, and others saying, you have to talk to your subject. So if you do an interview, you can't do a survey interview, with all these little check marks, because that itself is a gendered practice in a way that it closes off certain ways of knowing. And so I was listening to all this, and of course not doing experimental work myself, or even, collecting data on anything but historical or theoretical matters. I was outside of it, my research was not at stake in this. And so I started saying, this is really not good, because feminist psychology has moved psychology already tremendously, and because the differences aren't differences that really matter. I mean, they do matter in terms of someone's particular research program, but in terms of advancing feminism within psychology, all of these ways can work. However, I have my preferred. My preferences are clear in the book, but so I wanted to show that the transgressions that feminists had done, both those in very traditional areas and those in more risk-taking kind of methodologies, were really epistemologically important changes. Although they seem like small little moments, if you looked at them all together, they were big, and they required that people work in alliances and not fracture. And there were a number of really, I can't recall them now. You didn't read my CV, and I didn't do my homework and reflect and go back and probably look at the book, because there were a number of debates that were debates about whether one should routinely test for gender differences, for instance, and there were heated debates, and surprisingly, I came down on the side of a real kind of arch empiricists, feminist psychologists on that, and yet I thought these debates are kind of causing us to lose ground, rather,
right. Taking up energy that could be directed elsewhere.
When you saw the larger picture. And so that was the two-part of this, was to show that feminist psychology had made great advances, and that our differences are important to see, but our alliances are more important. And also there's a not insignificant third part, which was for people to try new methodologies, and to think beyond reductionism and positivism. Right.